Everyone just stick your head out to the side and wave to that camera right there.
Okay.
All right, ready? Number 1.
Christians cannot judge. Only God can.
Don't be swayed by other people. Don't be swayed. Stick to your answer.
Christians cannot judge. Only God can.
It's okay to not have the same answer as everybody else. Does anyone want to change their answer before we discuss? Okay. Ariana, can I ask you why you chose strongly agree?
Because, like, God, no one else's opinion is supposed to matter anyway. And the only one that's supposed to matter is God's, so.
Okay. Brayden, can you tell me why you chose strongly agree? You don't know?
Because it doesn't sound right for
What doesn't sound
us to judge people.
Okay. Okay, cool. Anybody else want to say why they chose strongly agree? Okay. All right. Back to square one. Okay.
Christians are perfect people.
Okay. The only one. Somewhat agree. It's okay. Why'd you choose somewhat agree?
Because the only perfect person is God.
Okay. So why not strongly agree?
Disagree.
Disagree. Sorry.
Well,
It's okay. I'm just asking. You just felt like being different?
yeah.
That's all right. Okay. All right, Alexa.
I'm gonna need you to repeat that question because I remember why I come over here, but I don't remember the question.
The statement was Christians are perfect people.
Oh no, absolutely not. Nope.
You want to explain?
Sure. Just because we're supposed to do good things doesn't mean we always do. And sometimes we make bad decisions
Very true.
that are not perfect.
Because we're human beings. Born into sin and whatnot. Anybody else want to take a go? Brayden? All right, back to square one.
I talk to my friends about God.
What?
I talk to my friends about God.
Wait, like, do I?
Yes,
right
do you?
now? Yeah.
Wait, why'd you change up?
Because I thought it was like in the moment, did I talk to them about it today?
Like, is that a part of your normal school experience? Is talking about God part of your normal everyday school life thing? Okay. Go, Tyler.
Again.
Yeah, sorry.
I put somewhat disagree because I talk about God with some people, but not with other people. It just depends on what the topic is and who I'm hanging around at the time.
Okay.
I agree with him as well. But there's this one friend I always try and come here, and like 2 of them, but one of them, their dad won't let them go anywhere, and then another one, she just hasn't been here since AMF, so.
Okay. Cool. Okay. What about you, Abby?
Oh, like the same as them, but like I talk more about it and I try to invite my friends, but none of them ever want to go.
I get it, but you're still trying.
Yeah.
Okay. Peyton?
Oh. Okay, I put somewhat agree because there's only like a certain amount of friends you can like feel that connection and feel like it's like a trustable thing for you to be able to actually like talk to them about the whole subject of like just God and Christianity in general, because some friends, they're just like don't want to have any a part of it, but then there's other friends that like you can sit there and just have like a 30-minute conversation about it.
Okay. I get that. Makai?
What am I supposed to say?
Why you chose strongly agree? So like you're someone who like talks to your friends about God a lot?
Oh, yeah. I like talk to them a lot about it.
Okay.
I always mention it.
Yeah. You're like confident talking about God. It's not like awkward for you.
Nah.
It's cool. Okay. Respect. All right, square one.
My relationship with God is where I want it to be.
I appreciate this honesty. Okay. Layla?
Okay, so it's okay right here, but I would want it to be a lot more so I could stand and strongly agree. But it's okay right now.
Okay. Okay. All right. Brayden?
I feel like it could be better.
Okay. 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 Ariana?
I'm not where I want to be. I'm somewhere, but not where I'm close, but not where.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate this honesty, guys.
That's what she's. That was my.
Yeah, your answer? Anybody else? Okay, cool. Square one?
My parents talk to me about God.
Go all the way over there.
I'm in the middle, but.
Okay. We'll start with the strongly agrees. Do you guys like do a daily devotional or something? Or like what's it like for you?
perfect, but we try to do that.
Yeah.
And whenever we have any issues at any point, we always try to go to Bible, stuff like that.
Cool. I like that. That's awesome. Brayden?
Ask Mitchell. He'll
Ask
say no.
Mitchell.
He'll say no, but he finds a way to talk about it every day.
Good. Pastor Mitch. That's good. That's good. Peyton?
Okay, gotta think of what I'm gonna say. Okay,
Somewhat agree.
yeah. So someone agree because it's obviously not like a topic in our everyday discussions, but like if there's ever like a problem in the house, it's like we find a way to turn away from like negativities and focus on like positivities and following God through it and how he can always like push us through those struggles. And it's like sometimes it'll be a topic and then sometimes it's just like completely out of the picture and we have other things to talk about.
Okay. I like that. Alexa?
Agree with Peyton because sometimes we talk about it, like it'll come up, and then sometimes we don't, so it just like depends on the situation.
Okay.
Same thing as Alexa. But I feel like her parents talk a lot about God and Jesus.
My dad, so I'm like in the
She
middle here.
deserves to be
My dad
overruled.
does. But like,
Okay. All right. We'll walk over to the somewhat disagreeer.
I thought we were going back to square one.
Oh, no, I'm going to get everybody on this one.
I feel like my parents talk about it, but it depends on like the subject.
Okay.
Depends on like what we're talking about, but sometimes we have like other things to talk about.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yes, ma'am.
So it's not in our day-to-day conversations at all. They come to church, sure. But when we did Kairos, my mom actually redid her notes at home and actually like talked about it a little bit for like one day, but she doesn't really talk about God.
Okay.
So.
Cool. That's cool that she did Kairos. Did you do Kairos with her?
Mm.
Cool. Well, maybe you can be the one to start those conversations with her. You know what I'm saying? I'm interested to hear this one.
My parents just don't.
All right. Square one.
God never gives you more than you can handle. God never gives you more than you can handle.
I'm confused.
Okay. All right. Tyler?
So, I know it's not the majority opinion, but I feel like sometimes God does give us more than we can handle so we can learn from it and learn how our mistakes and our decisions can better us, basically.
Mm.
That's what I'm right.
Very good. All right. Alexa?
So I feel like everything's in his plan. So when he gives us something to handle, it's his plan for what's going to happen in the future. So he knows if whatever his plan is, he knows we're going to get through it because it's his plan.
Okay.
I agree with her.
Agree with her? Agreed? Okay. Anybody else want to explain why?
She said she had a great answer for this.
Oh, you have a great answer?
I love you.
Well, it goes along with what Alexa said.
Mhm.
But God also, not everything is meant to be walked alone either. So if it's something that is more than you can handle, I feel like it could be because you're supposed to be walking it with someone. Like there's not something just too much for you no matter what. He won't ever.
Okay. Sorry, I just saw somebody running in the parking lot. Threw me off.
I don't get the question. I have no answer.
So the statement is, God never gives us more than we can handle. And you agree with that, so you're saying that God doesn't give us more. God never gives us more than we can handle. Okay. Cool.
No opinion.
No opinion?
I mean, like, no answer. Just.
So
I
why
gotta
did
say-
you move from somewhat agree to somewhat disagree? What made you do that?
Because I can't be there. No, there's just some things in life that I feel like I can't handle.
Yeah.
Even if it's put on my, like plate to handle, I feel like sometimes it just wouldn't happen. I wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah. Without God, right? Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. Anybody else want to take a stab? No? All right, square one.
I listen to worship music outside of church. I listen to worship music outside of church.
Everybody started such a confident step and stopped one line after the other.
Right. Okay. We'll start with Abby.
I listen to worship music when I'm on the bus and when I go to sleep because it helps calm my mind.
Okay. Cool. Like every night?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Hayden?
Okay. I definitely don't like just listen to as much as I don't know. As much as I should, I guess.
Mm.
But there are times where I'll just put on my playlist for it, and I'll just be like listening, cleaning, just doing like everyday things, driving down the road. Catch me with my windows down, listening to it, y'all.
Okay.
There's like very few songs that aren't Christian music that I listen to,
Mm-hmm.
but it just depends really, like really what I'm feeling. But mostly I'm usually listening to Christian music usually.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So,
She's ready for this one.
so when I first started coming here, I used to listen to like it all the time. Like
Okay.
really, I had a nice lengthy playlist.
Okay.
Don't listen to that playlist that much anymore. But when I the song lyrics just come in my head, I want to find out what the song is. So I go and I find the song and then I just start listening to my playlist again.
Mm.
Or sometimes when my dad drives me to school, he'll listen to, I don't remember the station now, but the station.
88.3.
Yeah, thank you. Why did it sound like that? Okay, and then he also listens to it on the drive to church.
Okay.
So I listen to it somewhat.
Okay. Cool. Alexa?
So in the mornings before work, me and my dad turn on 88.3 and listen to that for till we get where we're going normally, and then I'll listen to it if I'm getting ready in the morning for school or work, then I'll listen to worship music, and sometimes throughout the day if I'm just doing nothing, I'll turn on worship music while I'm just hanging around the house.
Cool.
It just depends on my mood, kind of. When I'm working out for show choir, I wouldn't listen to worship music because it's generally slower. But at other times when it's a slower vibe and just kind of chill, then I'll listen to worship music instead of whatever else. So it just depends on the mood.
Okay. Brayden, are you okay?
Yes.
Okay. You want to give me why you strongly disagree to listening to worship music outside of church?
I forget. I don't. I'm sorry.
You forget what? To listen to worship music?
To just it's when I'm thinking about listening to music, it's not the first thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah. What's your favorite type of music?
I'm not good with this category. I don't really care.
So what other music do you listen to then?
Just like anything that sounds.
Like jazz?
No.
So like what?
I don't know the
The
genre.
classics. Okay. You have like country, rap, rock, jazz.
Whatever shows up, I'll listen to.
Except for worship
unless
music.
Unless it's bad. Like if it's got like we know what in it, then.
We know what? What's that?
Like, that's it. Bad words, people. Bad words. Very bad words.
All right, Makai.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't.
Fair. Square one.
I should read my Bible more.
Okay. Tyler?
Everyone needs to read their Bible more. Everyone.
That's a fair statement. It's a fair statement. Anybody else have something different to say other than that? No? All right, Makai. Why would you say some would agree?
Because I read it every day. Sometimes I just might forget to read it. But, yeah.
How much do you read every day? Do you have like a set, like a chapter a day type schedule?
I just read until I'm fulfilled.
Cool. What are you reading right now?
I don't know.
You don't know? Have you read the entire Bible yet?
No.
Me either.
It's pretty long.
It is really long. What about, would you say that you like the New Testament more or the Old Testament more?
The Old Testament.
Really?
Yeah.
There's some crazy stories in the Old Testament. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Okay.
I just like it more.
Yeah.
It's more interesting to me.
Yeah.
It'd be a fun question to add, just to be like Old Testament more and like let them choose and discuss.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Brayden? Why would you say you somewhat agree with you need to read your Bible more?
Sometimes I read it at night.
Okay.
Sometimes I don't.
Cool. You ever read it in the morning?
That's hard. Jam-packed morning. Gotta go to school.
It is rough. You could always wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Am I a morning person? No.
Me either, bro.
I get up, grab them waffles, put in the toaster, and then leave.
Eggo brand or?
Whatever mom brings home.
Correct.
Whatever mom brings home.
All right, square one.
Your favorite part of the Bible is the Old Testament.
Okay. So, my Old Testament people, why do you strongly agree?
I just really like the Old Testament. I just like how, you know what I'm saying, it's just much more interesting, the stories.
What's your favorite Old Testament story?
I don't know, there's so many to choose from.
Just pick your favorite. Like the one that you like the most.
I don't want to be controversial.
You won't be.
You don't know what to say.
Final answer.
Give me one. Give me. Give me.
You know one.
Give me
just
one.
Bring it on to my dog.
Give me one character from the Old Testament.
There's so many characters. You know?
Just give me one.
I don't want to, you know.
God.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that would really be cheating if I chose.
All right, Brayden.
Great. Wow.
That's okay. All right, Brayden. Give us your favorite Old Testament story.
Oh, definitely David. Definitely David.
What about David?
David's the man. David's
Which
so calm.
David?
You want to talk about that? 12-year-old.
What did David the 12-year-old do?
I don't know. I don't know how old he was when he slayed the giant, like Goliath.
Okay.
Like 12, 13.
How many stones did it take to slay Goliath?
Oh my God. It's an even number, I think. Like 4, 6, 8, 10, 12,
Okay.
24,
That's a lot.
365.
Is there going to be a discussion after?
Like, just be like, did y'all lie or are y'all telling the truth?
The question?
What?
Yes, we will discuss.
Okay.
Okay. All right, my New Testament people. All right, Peyton, why do you somewhat disagree?
Oh, we're all down here. Okay. I don't know.
You like the New Testament a little bit more.
Yeah, at times I feel, especially in like Bible class last year, I felt like it was more understandable to just learn. Nothing in specific about it, but like it was easier to understand, and like it was easier to just dive into and acquire knowledge on it.
Okay. Cool. Abby?
It's easier to understand. Ow. And one of my favorite verses is in the New Testament.
What's your favorite verse?
2 Corinthians 5:7.
Can you recite?
For we walk by faith and not by sight.
Cool. All right, Layla?
So yeah, it is a little bit harder to learn because like the Old Testament is like very long. I feel like the New Testament is like more understandable, and
What would you say your favorite
yes, the New Testament
book is of the New Testament?
Revelations.
Really?
Yes.
I tried to read Revelation and I started having nightmares, so I had to stop. Yeah.
That's concerning.
Revelation is crazy.
It's interesting.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Alexa?
Honestly, I really don't know.
You don't know why you like the New Testament over the Old Testament?
Well, I've just picked a spot because I was very confused by the question and a little overwhelming, and
Her brain, you can see steam coming out this side.
Okay.
She can't function properly right
That's okay. So you being here means that you would prefer reading the New Testament over the Old Testament. So New Testament is where
it's
Jesus
easier,
is.
It's easier to read.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to read than the Old Testament. Like a lot of what I read. Like I read a lot of like 2 Corinthians.
Cool.
On to Tyler.
All right, Tyler. Why would
So, the best way I know how to explain it is like, you know when you're talking to someone, you just have those conversations that really hit you in the feels?
Yeah.
That, ow! That hit me on the external. It happens more in the New Testament to me than in the Old Testament. And I also...
So you connect with the text more in the New Testament?
It's kind of like the old text is like Shakespeare and the new text is like Instagram. So I can read Instagram and not Shakespeare.
I get that. I can get that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go to our strongly disagree. You love yourself some New Testament. Why?
Well, like they said, it's easier to understand, but
Okay.
I've been hooked on one specific book right now, and it's in the New Testament. So,
What book is that?
1 Peter.
1 Peter. Okay. Would you like to tell us what 1 Peter is about?
Hope.
Hope. Cool. That's what you're reading right now?
Well, I've read the
Fancy.
whole thing now, but it's just still.
Yeah. Sweet. All right. Square one.
Christianity is just about following a bunch of rules.
Lol. Okay. Tyler knows the answer. What's the
You know
answer?
the answer. Christianity is not about following a whole bunch of rules. It's about building a stronger and better relationship with God.
Yeah, give him a hand. Very good. Okay. Alexa, you want to touch on this?
I agree 100% with Tyler.
No further comment.
No further comment.
Abby?
I agree, and it's also like so you can teach your friends more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
People think like with rules, a lot of people think that it's like you'll get like severely punished if you break them, but that's not like that's why there's like not that. Well, I guess there's not really rules to Christianity because like if you break a rule, he's not gonna like punish you. So.
Okay. Okay. Carry on.
I don't really think they're rules. I think they're like, they aren't like there to be like, you aren't allowed to do that. They're there to be like, you shouldn't do that because that's not going to end well. That's a better option. Jesus is a better option.
Okay. Peyton?
Okay. Kind of agreeing with what everyone else has said, but also it kind of opens a door to gain new experiences and like people can find like friendships and relationships just through following Christianity. And it all just kind of like sets a positive baseline for your life, and it'll slowly, like, it can set you up to succeed better.
Cool. Okay. No, I'll come down.
What?
Here. Excuse me, Makai. Somewhat disagree.
Easy answer. For me, I feel like they're like I shouldn't have to follow rules, but like in the beginning when I was like becoming a Christian, I feel like Mitchell was making it like my parents were making it like there's some things you can't do. So I felt like there were a ton of rules.
Okay. So now, how do you feel? You feel the same?
Yeah, kind of. Like some things I feel like are like I don't know. Like yes, I do feel the same.
Okay. So, what made you come to somewhat disagree?
Because my parents make it feel like there are rules to follow.
Okay. So you more disagree than agree, though? That Christianity is just about rules?
No, I disagree that it's not all about rules.
Okay. So what do you think it's more about?
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Okay. All right.
You messing me up. Like,
I'm sorry.
I'm confused.
I'm just trying to understand your thought process.
Trying to love God. Like, that's what I want to do.
Okay. You somewhat disagree that Christianity is just about following rules?
I disagree because there is some rules that you have to follow if you're like a follower of Christianity. But it's not just about that because a lot more stuff comes with it.
Yeah.
So
Like what?
like your relationship with God can not just give you opportunities but like help you like find peace within yourself so you're not just out there.
Okay. Cool. Square one.
Praying is hard.
Sorry.
Praying is hard.
That's okay. Don't be ashamed of your answer. This is about what you think. Okay? We'll go with the strongly disagreeer first. You think praying is easy for you?
Praying itself is not hard. I mean, what might be hard for some people is finding the time or the want to pray every day, but the act itself of praying is not hard, if that makes sense.
Okay, so for you, do you think that encompassing the finding the time and what else did you say? The want?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's easy for you?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
It doesn't take very long for me. Just a second. I mean,
Okay.
I don't find it necessarily difficult.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, you're still at square one.
I'm taking this as neutral. Like, I'm
Okay.
just in the middle.
Can you explain why you're in the middle?
Yeah. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes there's issues where you can not find out, like, what words to put together for what to say.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes you'll be like, well, do I really need to pray about this? Like, can I figure this out on my own? And then sometimes you're just like, I need to pray about this. I need help. Like, it's just kind of like a split thing. Like, I don't know.
Okay. All right. I've talked to Makai a lot. Ariana, why do you somewhat agree that praying is hard?
Because in some way, like, sometimes it feels like you, like, have to pray about a specific thing, but you don't know, like, how to, like, word it or something. But then in other times you're like, I just talk like I'm talking to someone else, really. Like, that's all you really have to do. There's no specific way to pray.
Yeah.
It just really depends.
Okay. Abby?
It basically, like, I feel like it depends on, like, the topic and, like say you're having, like, a problem or something and you want to pray for it. But, like, it's not, like, in your everyday practice. Because, like, I feel like you feel like you should when you have a problem, but you don't feel the need to like every day.
Okay.
I have doubted that God exists. I have doubted that God exists.
Okay. We'll start with our agreeers.
I mean, I'd be lying if I said that I've never doubted at times, and although it's always like I've always worked through it, I would be lying if I said I've never had times of doubt and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate your honesty. Okay. Brayden?
I doubt him a lot because the things that we're doing on earth, to me, feel like there's no way that he, like, I don't know, created us to do that. Like, bringing things that are dead back to life. Just,
What do you mean?
like,
God bringing things that are dead back to life?
no, humans are trying to bring things that are dead back to life.
Like what? Who's trying to bring dead things back to life?
They're trying to, like, bring, like, extinct animals back.
Okay.
It just sounds like
Yeah.
we're not supposed to do this.
Yeah. There are a lot of things
And then
that
aliens,
happen.
yeah.
Aliens?
And then aliens,
So you
yeah.
think aliens disprove God's existence?
No, I just feel like the whole, oh, they're going to destroy us all, and they're like, oh, there are all other things in life. Like, if there's other life forms, then why didn't he talk about it?
Okay. That's interesting. All right, okay. You somewhat agree that you've doubted God exists?
Yeah, when I was younger, before I had more information, yeah.
Yeah.
But now I don't.
Okay. All right. Ariana?
Before I got like where my relationship with him is today or anything, I've had like that point where I was like, not sure.
Okay.
This touches me really hard. Okay. What? This right here touches me really hard.
Okay.
Because I was praying on something once before, and it didn't happen. And I thought that he didn't care.
Yeah.
So, but now it's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's understandable. I think that's happened to all of us. We pray for something and we thought that, like, you really want something to happen and it doesn't, and then you're left wondering why, and like, why do bad things happen and all these things. That's understandable. That's understandable.
So like I've always just grown up going to church. I've grown up in a Christian like household and just a full-blown family, but obviously like everyone has their doubts. They're like, why would God like put me through this? Because there's times where you like think you can't handle something. You're like, why would he put me through this when I don't feel strong enough to be able to actually get through it? Like, there's just situations where you just are doubtful because you're like, it's just a difficult time. And you're like, this shouldn't be happening. Like, it's just difficult times.
Yeah. Okay. Abby?
Something kind of what she said, but also I feel like when I was younger, I kind of feel like I was more gullible and I believed what was told to me. And so I just started believing it, and then like now like I fully understand and believe it. So I feel like there's been some times I may have doubted him, but like for the most part I feel like I've just grown up like knowing. So yeah.
Okay. Alexa?
So I agree with Peyton on the fact of like I grew up in church and going to church, but it took me more of like I know he's real, but like what she said, why would this happen if he was real? So a little bit of mix, like I know he's real and I know he's there, but why would this happen, or why isn't this happening? So it's you have to trust him and his plan.
Yeah. So we can go back to square one.
I can explain the gospel.
How many of you, raise your hand if you've been through Kairos? R.I.P. Sorry, Pastor Bunny. Okay. All right, we'll go with our neutral guys first. Makai, why are you neutral about your ability to explain the gospel?
I really didn't know what that means, so I just figured I'd stay here.
Okay. So, do you want me to tell you what it means? Like what the
Yes.
gospel is? The gospel is Jesus' purpose, like what Jesus did for us and all that. So could you explain like the atonement and like why Jesus had to die?
Oh,
You think you could?
somewhat.
Okay. So do you want to
Maybe.
change your answer?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I'll change it to.
Someone agree? Okay. Would you like to take a stab at explaining the gospel? Okay. Okay, Brayden, why are you neutral?
Sometimes I can. Sometimes it makes no sense. Just depends. It's like my mind knows, like when I can, like, oh yeah, I can tell you about this and tell you, like I can fully understand it. And then there's sometimes where like I should know this, but I don't know this.
So what do you feel in this moment?
That I don't know how to do it.
Okay. Okay.
But then I can. But, like I just feel like it just depends. On
Do you
what-
want to try to do it right now?
No.
Pretend that I don't know anything about
No.
Jesus. No?
I need to meet someone who really knows nothing about Jesus because she's lying. She knows more about than me. Definitely.
You don't know that?
Well, she said pretend, so technically.
Okay.
Pretend.
Abby, pretend that I don't pretend that I don't know anything about Jesus and explain it to me.
Huh?
Who is
That was
Jesus?
a different question.
Who is
You
Jesus?
changed the question.
And what did he do? And why is he so important? And why did he have to die? You could explain that?
No.
Okay.
Jesus is the one that died for our sins, and he like took away basically the sins of the world. And so like he gives you forgiveness for whenever you sin and do bad things.
So if God can forgive sins, why did Jesus have to die?
Hold up.
It's okay. I don't mean to put you on the spot.
That's a great question.
You can say pass.
I'm gonna pass on that question.
Cool. Tyler?
I changed my mind because I feel like I can explain it decently
Okay.
as opposed to undecently over here.
Yeah. You want to take a stab at it?
So basically, well, what do I need to explain? Like which part? Just why he did what he did?
Sure.
Or like what his purpose was?
Yeah.
So basically his purpose was to come show us that God was real and what he could do and show us why we should follow him, and show us what following him, how it could benefit everyone. And so then he showed everyone that, and some people didn't believe him and they didn't like him very much.
Mhm.
So they said, no, that's enough. You're being exiled. We're gonna put you up.
Put you up.
So
Okay.
they tried to, but then 3 days later he came back and was like, hey, I'm back.
I'll do it.
And he came back so he could just show us yet again that God was real and what he could do. And he accepted his fate and kind of passed away, to be able to take all our sins from us and show us how to try and lead a life that could honor God and stay away from sin as much as possible.
All right. All right. Can we stand up?
I also have to say that some topics are easier to explain than others.
Yeah, 1,000%. 100. Alexa?
So I agree with that. Some things are easier, like some things you know about, and then some things you don't. So some things you can explain, and some things you can't explain.
Like, what can't you explain?
Like if you haven't read like certain things in the Bible or something, and you can't really talk about that, but you can talk about something else in the
Mm.
Bible.
Okay. Cool. Ariel?
Mine is answer changed once you said like what we were explaining, like in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to walk like across while someone else was talking. So
what's your answer now?
somewhat agree.
Okay, let's move over. Why do you now somewhat agree?
Because I didn't like grasp what you were asking at first,
Okay.
and then I understood after. Like I was like, oh yeah, I can do that.
Have you ever shared the gospel with anyone before? How'd that go? Was it awkward?
A little bit.
Yeah. It's always awkward. Anything else? No? Okay. Layla? You strongly disagree?
Yes.
Okay.
Because even after taking Pastor Bunny's class, I feel like it is very hard, still very hard, even though she like gave us like questions to ask people to start it off so it wouldn't be like very awkward.
Mm.
But like, I mean, not somebody's gonna come up to you and be like, can you tell me what this and this is? But then like she also gave us those questions, but I still feel like it'd be very hard to like put that into like your conversation, like, hey, do you know about the Bible? Here's what Jesus was and what he did. I don't think it's very easy for me to explain that to somebody, especially because like when I do like public speaking, even if it's with my friends, I like start to stutter and then I get confused and I confuse them. So it would be very easy for me to explain that to them.
Well, part of it is being confident in yourself. You know, if you're confident that you know what you know that you know is the truth, then talking about it isn't hard at all. So it sounds like everyone needs to be confident in what they know.
There's also a difference between public speaking and just talking to your friend about God.
Yes.
I'm not good at public speaking, but if you know at least a little bit about the gospel, you can answer some questions and help steer them in a direction at least.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody give yourselves a round of applause. Yay.